have some opinions. I'm not sure that I'm right. I've thought quite a lot about this. First of all, I think with all federal regulations, and I've heard this from regulators in other fields, government regulators, that in time, the people who were in office or in positions of authority under regulations had a voice in creating the initial regulations. Over time, those people tend to move on, to retire, sometimes to die, and the regulations remain, but the history and the flexibility disappear. Young people come in, they don't know the history of the regs, they read them very literally, and they are afraid of being shut down, so they comply very literally. And we tried to draft the human subjects regulations and the animal policy in such a way that institutions would feel that reasonable adaptation of their programs to the rules set forth in the regulations would not be punished. In fact, it would be praised. And the shutdown period accentuated a process that was ongoing anyway, simply with the turnover of personnel in the industry. I also think that some of the people who came out of our own certification program, the CIP program, learned the rules without, and although the teachers were often stressing flexibility and sensibility, I think what they were learning was how to pass the exams and get the certification. And I think that's almost inevitable in programs of that kind. It's not that I ever had any criticism of the way the program was taught, but I dealt with some of the people who came out of the program who had practically memorized the regulations and felt their job was to implement them rather than to catch their spirit and to fulfill their purpose. And there's one is not contrary to the other, but there is a kind of flexibility that comes, and many of those people now are still functioning and have come back around to flexibility. So oddly enough, I think we've passed through an era of rigidity, and what I'm seeing, although I don't see as many institutions as I used to see, what I'm seeing is a return to flexibility. And I think maybe that's a more mature generation. The people who started out as secretaries became board administrators. Now they're in executive positions. And I think they have come back to realize this has to be a flexible activity, or it will never achieve its full strength and purpose. If we get too rigid, we put off investigators, we destroy some research, we drive people out of the field. All of those things come with rigidity. And so I think it needs to be fought, but it needs to be fought in such a way that we don't then go to ignoring the rules or having no guidance. So we don't want to go to the opposite extreme either. And I think Primer has been a great balancing of those interests of compliance, but not rigid, mindless compliance.